What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Obsidian Blade Medicine Hour. I hope you are feeling awesome because it's Friday, and Friday doesn't mean the beginning of the weekend. It just means the beginning of your feelings, the beginning of feelings. And what are those things? Oh, it turns out, as we're going to talk about in this Medicine Hour, feelings happen to be just about everything. Feelings are your... Oh, I'm not going to say it yet because we got to dive into... there's a few other things to talk about. But yes, Feeling Fridays, not TGIF. How about this? There's that phrase, right? TGIF, right? Thank God it's Friday. How about like, thank God I'm feeling? That's what it's... Let's switch that up. Let's call it, instead of TGIF being thank God it's Friday, TGIF is thank God I'm feeling. God, I love that. I'm down with that. I am so down with that. So welcome everybody to the Obsidian Blade Medicine Hour. It is Thank God I'm Feeling Fridays. And, we're going to tune into what's happening in the universe, and then we're going to embody it. And that's what we do here. That's what we do here every day of the week. And there's a certain amount of like gentleness that I want to bring into this discussion because, there is a lot of emphasis always on the outward doingness of things, right? We can be hyper attuned via the survival mechanisms to what's going on outside of us. And that can often leave us lost because we end up getting into a paradigm where we're negotiating with external forces for our internal harmony. And this is part of the grand paradigm shift as we switch out from being hyper externalized and getting back in touch with the internal. But then we don't want to swing the other way, right? Swing the pendulum the other way and be hyper internalized because then nothing's going to happen on the outside, right? So we get into a state of balance. But of course, when a pendulum is all the way over here in the extreme position, it's got to go back over to the other side to let you know the contrast of where you just were. So we are in a period here on the earth, here in our evolution, of heavy contrasts between the inner and the outer so that we can get back to the Zen state of the middle. So if we look at society, we look at, okay, we're escaping hyper-masculine empire building, hyper-externalized materialism, right? And now we're seeing the switch, the pendulum, go over to, hey, let's get actually hyper in touch with the feminine. It's long overdue. We're missing one half of ourselves. But when we do that, right, the state is not to get into one is better than the other or one is more negative than the other, right? We need balance, but that's what we do right now. We're getting back into that stage of balance. So as I was teasing at the beginning of the broadcast, let's get into this one weird trick in order to become harmonized with the sacred world. But before we do that, I just want to dive in and say, hey, I am so stoked you're here on Instagram Live, on YouTube Live. I am grateful that you spend your time with me. I'm grateful that we have the ability to create a communal experience of tribe as Empath Nation warriors on the rise, living in that beautiful, majestic state of like harmony with the sacred world, harmony with the earth, and really through that process, reclaiming our power. So I am grateful as ever that we get to do this together and that together we help keep each other on the journey, on the path, right? So that we can not get confused. It's very confusing right now, and we need that. We need our sacred tribe, our sangha, our community, to keep the mental plane legit and in harmony with these changes and in harmony with life And I'm grateful to do that with you and for you. And if you're new to this channel, you know well, you may not know what we do, but here's what we do. We're being the change that we seek in the world. That's what we do. That's really the essence of it. As we as we switch from that hyper masculine, getting in touch with some extreme, beautiful, tangible feminine forces and striking that balance. But also, we like to say it like this: as empaths, healers, and creators who are blossoming into their full abilities. We navigate the exit of the crumbling matrix slave system, aka the land of the dead, which I can explain more if you'd like to, through the exploration and cleansing of our shadow side and our lost child innocent side, so that we can come back to life and become the shift we seek to live in our full power on New Earth, under the light, in the light, with the light of the sixth sun star system. I've got the maps. We are the crew. Let's do this. Let's cut some shit out and get back on track for what we really are, where we are, and what we are. So again, as I drink some of that beautiful, fresh earth water, we are in the paradigm of switching from the hyper attunement in a survival based culture to external authorities, right? Some people call that the patriarchy. Some people call that the matrix, right? But that external authority is where we have placed a lot of value. We've placed it through our parents' approval. We talked a lot about this in the past few episodes. Hey, namaste, Mimi. Hey, everyone here. Kisa Hughes, Chad, Martina, what's up? So glad you're here as usual. We've placed a lot of value on what other people think of us. We still do it today on Instagram or YouTube. How many hits did I get? How many likes did I get? Rather than, and that could be called width, right? Rather than the depth. We get this kind of value system kind of wrong. We're focused on width rather than depth. And width, you could think about, is masculine. Like, how many people did I impact? What's my external authority presence? Whereas depth could be considered the feminine. How many people did I really touch? Did I even just touch one person and have an experience that felt amazing, right? So we're neck deep in that. And what's happening, right? This is why we must bond together as a crew and a tribe, because what's happening to the external world? What's happening to this hypermasculine? It's being deconstructed, right? So when you deconstruct one thing, you've basically dismantled your infrastructure that you've known to this point. It's your home. It may not be a good home, but it has been your home. And so through this deconstruction of the home, this hyper-masculine home, we can get into a little bit of nervousness, like, well, what's next, right? And so that's what we're in the process of exploring and feeling. And that what next, again, is that getting back in touch with the feminine and then coming back into that state of the balance, right? So we've been really examining what are those forces that seem to be out of our control or exert control on us, and therefore we get into a state of helplessness. We have to examine, as warriors, where we are addicted to states of helplessness, because a state of helplessness is a state, kind of sounds like a government, where you have given up your own authority, and you've given that authority to the care and conditions of another. Like, there's a weird exchange going on. Like, well, if I give up my authority to you, you'll take care of me, right? But as we see, it's not really actually anybody else's responsibility to take care of you. It's really up to you to take care of you, and you can take care of you, and you can bond together with people who you resonate with to create that good feeling of being taken care of. But when we give it up to the state, then we're at the mercy of approval, right? So in your Instagram, are you at the mercy of other people's approval, or are you sharing what's really true to you? Not giving a fuck if people like it or not, but you're being authentically, truly who you feel yourself to be. You're in touch with this. So, just examining where we've been giving up our authority to others and taking back the power, taking back that power. And, blossoming. Yeah, I like that little emoji, little hawk, midnight, just blossoming into our wings so we can fly from the nest, right? Rather than blaming the nest. Nest, you hold me back. Nest, I hate you, nest. And so we're really, tapping into that. Hey, actually, I'm going to own up to where I've been giving it away. So yes, I'm so glad this is in resonance, because this is it. This is what's up. So, when we do this level of work, there's the external authority figures that we're dismantling, and that includes our parents. And so when we do parental work, we're actually doing really internal childhood work, right? We're reclaiming the child, and a key technique, be that hypnotherapy or shamanic work, shadow work, is where we're going in and we're saving our own inner child and reconnecting that there is a part of you that took on a belief when you were younger, and that belief has determined key aspects of your life that you are really frustrated about now and want to fix, right? So we always examine, what are the rules that I created as a child that worked maybe in the moment or helped you survive right in that moment, especially, just with your child paradigm of what your parents were or what the world is, and it helped you survive in that moment. But if we want to, no, I'm not. Let's see, I got pressing the wrong button on that thing there. If we're wanting to survive now and get what we want, we're really having to examine, those beliefs, and that's inner child work, So this is the connection, when we're letting go of the infrastructure of the hypermasculine empire as we've known it, we're letting go of all the rules that we have known so far, right? The rules of approval. And the same with the inner child work. We're letting go of all the rules of how we got love. And we're letting go of all the rules of how we presented ourselves to get love, because we adopted, either through society or through our parents, either at a young age or even in your teenage years, you looked around and you were looking for connection and approval with your crew. Who did you cut off within yourself or block within yourself in order to fit in? This is the homework we have to do. And what does it feel like to get back in touch with that person at the same time as we get rid of the rules for approval? We get rid of the rules of maybe even what it means to feel safe. Because maybe that feeling safe is just an idea. Like feeling safe by conformity is not really healthy in the end. So we're examining those things and we're cleansing those things right now. That's what's up for grabs. That's where we do the work. And when we start to liberate these things, what do we get? We get two things in the world. You get two prizes when we start to do this level of work. We start to become the change we seek in the world. And there's an important thing that we have to recognize, because of course, in this deconstruction of the external world, right, there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of blaming going on. Like, why? Okay, I don't like the government, but I hate what they're doing, and they should change. But in the meantime, are you giving up your authority to change yourself in that process? And if we want society to change, if we want governments to change, if governments even still exist in the future on New Earth, I don't think so. I think there's a natural order of life is what's going to govern things. The natural order of life is going to reestablish her authority. But, if we're wanting to heal the world, but we're not healed ourselves, then all we end up doing is adding our confusion and our aggression to the situation, right? So if we're wanting to be contributing, what sort of element are you throwing into the soup? You are the element. What element of you are you throwing into the collective soup right now? And if it's filled with aggression and confusion and a lack of compassion for self and your own journey, then you're really not creating any difference right now. And it sounds harsh. It sounds harsh to say it the way I'm saying it right now. I know it sounds like you can't participate in the change unless you change yourself. But you can see on one level, like if we're not being any different, then no difference can occur because we're not being leaders in what difference looks like, right? And the most beautiful thing about being the change you seek is, whoa, you get to experience the change you seek. You like hit the jackpot. You're not again in the deconstruction of this externalized authority, like someone's going to give you permission to do what you want. You give yourself permission to do what you want, and then you receive the immediate benefits of that. And the same goes, we're not only deconstructing governments and society, we're deconstructing our relationship to the divine, where we've also given up we've also, made the divine the patriarchy. Or the patriarchy has roped in the divine into their pyramid scheme. And so we see spirit also through that lens of the pyramid. And that is also where we have to deconstruct and recognize, okay, let's see here. Let's do the math. If I stop externalizing source and making source more powerful than me, it may be more aware than me because it's not in my situation. So it's got the more 20,000 foot view of things than me. But I can use the other beings as allies, but if I'm not giving away my power to source and asking source for permission to feel what I want to feel or manifest what I want to manifest or experience what I want to experience, if I'm not asking for permission, what does that look like? It turns out you're the only one, I'm the only one who can hold ourselves back from experiencing what we want to experience. If I no longer give up authority to an external figure, spirit, government, society, parent, relationship, oh shit, we're back in the driver's seat. We're back in the driver's seat. Welcome to your vehicle of existence. You're in the driver's seat. Oh, are your hands on the wheel? Do you have your GPS set? Do you even know where you're going? Like, whoa, wake up. You are source. If we stop putting source at the center of a galaxy somewhere or in another dimension, turns out you're a source and you're here and we handle that. We become it. And we end the blame. We end the blame that someone else is responsible for our situation. Now, like I said, as an energy worker or, one who is remembering that we are energy and working with energy, we are also aware that on the physical plane, mass is momentum. I've talked about this a lot. So yes, there are masses of people who think a certain way that can cause you harm. And so we are aware of that and we negotiate that. we maneuver our lives in accordance to that until we can maybe help others recognize that all forms of life have a right to exist. So, there is mass and there is momentum, but that's why we gather. That's why we connect, so that we can create a mass of change. We can be the momentum of this embodiment. We can be the momentum of the balance of the masculine and the feminine. And we can embody the changes we're seeking and walk around as representing this. Represent it. Represent New Earth right now. And so what I wanted to, segue into is, how do we, again, I make this declaration a lot, because whatever I talk about, it must be utilizable. It must be tangible. So I'm going to blow the lid on something. I got this one weird trick. I got to tell you, I have this one weird trick for, living in sacred earth. Watch, hold on. I love this phrase called the elusive obvious, because what I'm about to tell you is the essence of the elusive obvious. So if we're going to embody this, and we keep talking about source, and we keep talking about all these things, but if we don't really feel them, then we're never going to have the chance to embody them. So what does it mean to embody something, right? To embody, to go within the body and be it. And to recognize, look, you may not be ready for this. This may be too elusive for you, but I got to tell you, let me ask the question, what does source feel like? And what does the earth feel like? And what does the marriage of source and earth feel like? And where do you think the marriage of source and earth would occur? If we're going to be the living embodiment, we are the embodiment of that. And so here's the wake-up call. To end the fantasy, yeah, you got it. To end the fantasy of what it is and to feel it. It's you. Exactly. Birch Moon Wisdom. It's you. It's you. Now here's the kicker. Catch it. Catch it. This is the kicker. What do you feel like? You feel. That's it. It's so, you might not even believe this. You're feeling right now, the feelings you have right now, the flesh you feel, the embodiment you feel, that's it. It's nowhere else. You want to feel the universe? You want to feel the earth? Feel you right now. It's not a fantasy. Don't fantasize this. Don't do a mental projection of what New Earth is. You are the New Earth, and you must feel it in your body, not through adding more fantasy of what that could be. Just feel. When we feel, we become life. We become spirit embodied. We don't distance existence. We don't put distance to our own living experience as spirit incarnated into earth. And so you are the universe when you allow yourself to feel you. You are at the center point of this experience. And so if you want to feel source and you want to feel the earth, just feel yourself right now. Have a touch fest, both on the outside and the inside, and go, you've arrived. I have arrived. I'm here. I'm here. and avoid the fantasy. You know, we stop asking, where is spirit? Where is earth? Tag, you're it. And this is what it feels like. You want to know what the earth feels like? It feels like you. When you begin to feel comfortable and own that, we're making real changes. We're ending the divorce. We're ending the separation. We're ending the distance. We're ending the waiting time. When's it going to happen? You start being the earth through feeling you, then you've arrived. You start feeling source in you, then you've arrived. Told you it was one weird trick. It's so simple. It's so right in your face. You can't believe it. And that's part of the deception campaign. Woo! Feel it. It's part of the deception campaign that was sold to you. That this was dirty. That the body was not sacred. Okay? That's the essence of what we saw with the Christian Empire. That the body was wrong. That one weird trick that got played on us. The one weird trick that got played on us, that we were told to disembody ourselves and seek external authority to cleanse. New Earth, you are it. Feel it. Don't fantasize it. We are that, yes, we are that heart technology. That's where that heaven and earth meets. So if you want to feel the earth, feel you. You want to feel source, feel you. You are it. That one weird trick ends distance. It ends the disembodiment, and so that you become embodiment and you become sacred. This is a sacred world. This is the sacred earth. Make it sacred again. Make going to the gas station sacred again. Make going to the grocery store sacred again. Where else is there? We stop the fantasy, we stop the disembodiment, and we come into it. So the sensation of existence is sensuality. This could give rise to certain topics around relationship and tantra and all these sort of things. But really, the sensation of existence is that you are a sensual being. You are the sensuality of the universe made real, tangible. And so it's source having an intimate relationship with the earth. Source and the earth are doing it right now through you. So I'm going to say it like this. Source and the earth are totally getting it on through you right now. They're fucking right now. Source and the earth are totally having sex through you. How does it feel? And feel it. End all fantasy of externalization and feel you. And whatever you feel, and this is where we sit in our meditation, we sit there and we allow the mind to settle. And we get into our diaphragmatic breathing, and we have our great posture where we're holding the container, we're being the container for the Dharma to flow through us. And we go, what does this feel like? Allow the sensations to arise. And that's where you're going to discover, I am the earth feeling this. Where else does this flesh come from? Do you think this flesh was deposited on this earth from somewhere else? Do you know how many minerals from the earth are inside of you? Do you know how many minerals of existence are inside of you? You have a mineral kingdom inside of you. You are the earth. You are the earth. You're living in her. You are living in the flesh of the mother. And so feel the wind. Feel the earth. Touch the fires, the air, the waters. Have all those things touch you as you touch it, you know? Become that sensation of existence. Become sensational. And And here's the thing, where like a lot of Buddhism kicks in, you know, so we've had this thing like for, like I said, the Christian embodiment that the body is to be ignored, the ego is to be ignored, and it's not true because you are having this experience. You are someone. You have a flavor, you have a passion, you have a way you express. And yet, in the end, we're not attached. That's just the key to this all. It's a balance. You are what you are, and you are unattached at the same time, right? So, what does it mean to be attached or unattached? We know what it means to be attached. Attached means stagnant, right? This can't change. I've got to hold on to it. I'm going to hold on to all the food I eat, and I'm not going to shit, right? So, but we know what happens when you hold on to your shits, right? So you got to flow. You've got to flow with your shits, right? You got to intake and you got to out, let it go, right? So we have experiences, we become these things, and in the end, we're unattached. So unattached means this, you don't disavow or ignore your experience, right? You embody as and feel and become sensual around your experience, but you're unattached. So you are it and you're letting it flow. Exactly. Always flowing. I am this, and in another moment, and I love this. I am this and I love this, and in another moment, I'm going to be something else. I am this, I love this, and in another moment, I'm going to be something else. And it's okay. I'm feeling great. I'm flowing. And what does it mean to flow, right? We always hear this flow. Flow is really the ability to experience and create more. And when you experience and create more, what is that a signal of? It's a signal of your abundance, your prosperity, your ability to manifest and be a part of more. It's the currency, the current of the sea, the current of electricity, the currency meaning the money, the abundance, the flow, and the current now. Being current means now. And so being unattached actually means being abundant because you're allowing the flow of existence to keep on going. You're not holding on to your shits and getting some sort of weird disease, or your intestines are full. You're letting it flow. So in comes the energy, out goes the energy, and we're on the ride. So we're not disavowing our experience. Remember, because we're having to combat the Christianization, the Christian empire that fucked over all the earth-based cultures through colonization. And we remember, yeah, my body is sacred. And when I feel my body, I feel the earth. And when I feel my body, I feel source. And it's the place to start. We end the fantasy again of waiting for an external authority to let us know when we're arrived on New Earth, or when we have arrived under the light of the sixth sun. We stop waiting for that, and we get in sacred harmony with the sacred earth and the sacred universe. We get in harmony with that, and we feel it. Then you're living it. When you feel, you live. When you live, you feel. And when you've got both, you're there. So I know it's a hard concept. The elusive obvious is so obvious that we don't believe it. And we've been trained not to believe ourselves. That's the external authority right there. We've been trained to not believe ourselves, because we've been waiting for someone outside of us who has more power to let us know that it's real. You're really here. You're really in the universe, and all you have to do is open your eyes and you look up and you see a star in the sky, or you see a moon, or you see the planets, or you see other galaxies. Where are you? Just feel it. Exactly. Just feel it. Just feel it. It's real. It's really, really real. You're really here and you're really sacred and you really are that marriage in the heart of both the source and the earth. And what is source and what does the earth feel like? It feels like you. What does home feel like? It feels like you. It feels like you. And can you accept that? That you feel you are the earth. Do you and what you feel is the earth. You are her. Can you accept that? Because when we accept that, I'm not creating distance now. I'm not going like, one day I hope to have a communion with the earth. One day I hope it will. I wonder what it's like. Dummy, wake up. It's you. And legitimize, like honor what I'm feeling. Of course, we think about things and we have weird thoughts. You know, I'm thinking about a girlfriend. I'm thinking about a boyfriend. And then we don't feel so good. Or maybe we feel great, right? Those are the interactions between mind and body. But I'm talking about when we allow ourselves to just be like calm and in harmony with existence. Whatever you feel in harmony with existence is existence. What the fuck? It's there, right? Yeah. If you're not flowing, you ain't growing. You're totally stagnant. And, this is interesting, oh gosh, this is a really great thing that I don't know if you've ever checked out the book Shambhala by Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. Very important book. But Shambhala is the sacred path of the warrior. And in it, he makes an observation. Again, all the magic that I work with, all the spirit and science that I work with is, of course, of the observable world. Because in the end, what's observable is sacred, right? We make sacred everything. Therefore, we observe everything we observe is sacred. It is the magic of the union of the spirit and the material plane. And so nothing's not sacred. So when we observe, the earth, right? We see her. We look at her as the essence of the feminine. And what do we see in feminine, in the woman, in our life, right? In human being life, right? When the woman is relaxed and she feels safe, heard, and seen, the woman relaxes in the relationship. And then, in essence, the woman as earth is, and don't get caught up in the words, the woman is pliable. The woman is ready to be on a primal reproduction level. She's ready to have a seed planted within her. She's ready to grow something when she's safe, seen, nurtured, protected. She relaxes to receive the seed and to grow something. And so the essence of feminine is that she's workable. Just like the earth is very workable, right? You can work the earth, you can work her, and then you work a field, right? When you work a field, what are you working? You're working the earth, and you plant seeds in it, and then she nurtures and grows those things. She's accepted those seeds, and then she gives you fruit. So the plane that we're working on is the one of having a relationship with the earth where we honor her to the point that she becomes workable, pliable. I know pliable is like kind of weird. Like, what do you mean I'm pliable? It means you're workable. You can create. And again, when we make the earth feel safe, seen and heard, she works with us. And that is really the essence of what I stand for as far as the new earth paradigm goes, or the sixth sun paradigm goes, is that we live on a sacred earth, and to have communion with her is to be in a state of consensual creation, you know, consensual creation. So we're moving from literally, we are moving, when I talk about the land of the dead means a culture that treats the earth as an object. What are we evolving to in our relationships with man and woman? We're having men wake up to the fact that women are not an object, right? The earth is not an object. Women are not an object. Okay. It's the same thing. So we're moving from rape culture, where we rape women for like they're an object to get what we want. And we move from raping the earth to just turn her into any object that we want without her consent. So the essence of the new earth paradigm is that we move into a state of consensual creation in communion with the earth, the woman, the feminine herself. Meaning, when we want to create, we take things to her and we ask her, would you like this to happen? Would you like this to be created? Because it's going to be your flesh, mother. It's going to be your flesh that creates this. So would you like to create this with me? I have a dream. May I plant this dream in you? Do you feel safe, seen, and heard? And does it work for you? Does my dream work for you, Mother Earth? Does my dream work for you? Does our society work for you, Mother Earth? Is it in alignment with what you desire, your mission, Mother Earth, your evolution, Mother Earth, your spirit, Mother Earth? Does it work with you? Because we want to live as a culture in harmony with you, because when we live in harmony with you, we live in harmony with our solar system and all existence. So we end the divorce, we end the distancing effect right there. Right? We stop saying, oh, I wonder when we're going to be a part of this existence. Start getting with her and start feeling her through you. Then you're in the game, flowing, you know? So receivers, you know? Yeah. Again, language is dicey, especially when we're like going to take it personal, what we're saying. So, you know, again, we have to make her alive. And of course, the feminine is alive. All women are alive. And so we take these words and okay, receivers, right? Receivers who are willing to work with the masculine energies when the masculine energy shows up to listen, to make safe, create the container, and to have her be seen and let her know that her wishes are equal to his wishes, because there's a balance here. And only the wishes of the two that make sense, the consensual creation, that's the only type of relationship that we need to be having forth from now, not ignorant relationships or rape culture relationships with the earth and in our connections, but consensual creation relationships. Hey, person who's coming into my life, what would you like to co-create with me? Where do we blend well in the middle? Hey, earth, would you like to dream this with me? I have an idea. I have an inspiration. I have an insight. I have an excitement. Are you ready to birth this with me? Do you think this would be good for you as well as good for me and good for others, because we're all connected? So that's how we're going to create new earth culture, is when we start getting into the culture of consensual creation and really recognizing the sovereignty of not just other human beings, but the sovereignty of all the animals and elementals and the earth herself. So yes, it is all one and the same, and we are ready, you know, to embody this as being beautiful co-creators, beautiful consensual co-creators. Yeah, loving all of you. What's up, Boundless Chi, Burger Earth Goddess, Birch Moon Wisdom, Little Hawk Midnight, Sophie Stick. I'm really glad, Alyssa. So glad we're all here together creating tribe. And you, Martina, I'm so stoked that everyone here we're doing this live. I think I'm about to get the warning on Instagram that it's going to end, but I've laid a lot out in this live. If you're just catching it at the end, we as a crew just kicked it down on how to embody existence and create a culture of consensual creation. And I really encourage you to hit the replay, go from the start of this, because as we deconstruct external authority, the values of a rape culture that denies the aliveness of the earth, we're really reclaiming that aliveness through our lives and doing the work to heal any disconnection, any lost parts of ourselves that were given up our authority, that have given up authority to paradigms that no longer exist, so that we can get into full creator power. And again, I do this live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The audio is taken from these lives or the YouTube lives and put on the podcast that's available on Google Play, iTunes, and Stitcher. You can go to theobsidianblade.com/subscribe and hit those up, as well as if you want to see this video again and you're on Instagram, it lives forever on the YouTube channel. So please go hit up my YouTube channel. Links are in the bio for that. Subscribe. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you love it, please hit subscribe. That means a lot to me. And so that we can grow this crew, we can seek clarity together, and we build the momentum of the new mass of aligned people. And we become not only the new 1%, but we become the new 100% that shows up and lives in the truth that the only true relationships going forward with the earth are the ones that are embodied and the ones that are consensual to the people in our lives, the animals, elements, minerals, and energy beings in our lives, and of course, Earth herself. And that's how we do it. That's how we live that change and become incredible embodiments of the gods, the heroes, the awareness that has remembered itself. And hey, ain't no big thing. That's how we roll, right? That's how we roll. That's how we roll. This is how we do it. I swear to God, I'm going to have to listen to that fucking song. This is how we do it. There's no other way. Embody that. Embody it. This is how we do it. Tribe. Empath Nation. Shift crew. Team transition. Time is evaporating. Live your badass self right now. And it turns out your badass self is the earth. Your badass self is source. And so what you feel in your body is that. What you feel in your body is that experience. So become the earth, become spirit today by feeling you and honoring what you feel is the experience of the universe made manifest. It's that simple. And James, I don't know how long this Instagram live is gonna last, but because I'm at the tail end. But yeah, be pissed, but be excited on the other side of being pissed, because that means you're asking for some change, and the other side of change is the things that you exactly want. So, yeah, man, get excited. Get excited. I love it. Okay, crew, Monday morning, 10 a.m. If you're around, I'll be doing this live again. And yeah, have a great weekend. Oh, I'll just recap what I said at the beginning. We've reshifted TGIF. It ain't thank God it's Friday. It's thank God I'm feeling. Thank God I'm feeling. Because when I feel, I am the earth. When I feel, I am the source. And when I feel I'm the marriage of those two things, I honor existence through me. Thank God I'm feeling TGIF. All right, kids, crew, lovers. This is the earth. We are it. Love you. See you Monday.